You know the story. Genesis says the world was created in 6 days. But science tells us the universe is billions of years old. So do you have to pick a side? What if you didn't? What if a single ancient word could actually bring these two ideas together? Well, that's exactly what we're going to explore today.
So let's just dive right into the big question that's been debated for, well, centuries. Was it a literal 6-day, 144-hour week, or the immense timescale that cosmology lays out? It feels like you can't have both, right? Let's take a look at a popular theory that says maybe you can.
All right, so the key to unlocking this whole puzzle isn't some complex new scientific discovery. Nope, it's actually hidden in the meaning of a single ancient Hebrew word. And that word is yom. Now, in Hebrew, yom can absolutely mean a normal 24-hour day. But, and this is the crucial part, it's also used all the time to talk about a much longer period, like an era or an entire age. This flexibility, this dual meaning, that's the foundation for this whole idea of reconciling the two timelines.
So let's try it. What happens to the creation story if we read each yom not as a day, but as a vast creative age? The sequence of events doesn't change one bit, but the timeline, it completely transforms.
Okay, this is where it all clicks into place. I mean, look at this. When you lay out the Genesis sequence as a series of huge eras, the parallels with scientific history are, well, they're pretty striking. The order of events is the same, but the scale is just cosmic. Let's start with day 1, the appearance of light. We're not talking about a sunrise here. No, this lines up with a billion-year period after the Big Bang, when the universe, which was once totally opaque, finally became transparent to light. And then you have days 2 and 3, the sky forming, continents rising up out of the water, the first plants showing up. Each of these events maps onto geological periods that scan something like 500 million years apiece. The scale is just mind-boggling. Now pay close attention to day 4. This one's really cool. It's not about the creation of the sun and moon. It's about the moment Earth's super dense atmosphere finally cleared up enough for them to become visible from the surface. Then after that, you get day 5, which looks a whole lot like the Cambrian explosion. You know, that incredible burst of life when complex sea creatures and birds first show up in the fossil record. And that brings us to the 6th age. This is the big one, the one that leads directly to us. This wasn't just a Friday in the creation week. It was a climactic era that saw the rise of all the land animals and, finally, humanity itself. And even within this one massive day, Genesis gives us a really specific sequence of events. First, you get the land animals, then comes the creation of Adam, then the planting of the Garden of Eden, and finally the creation of Eve. It's a whole progression of events unfolding inside one immense geological era. So we've gone through 6 ages of creation. What about the 7th day, the famous day of rest? Well, according to this way of thinking, this yom is totally different from all the others that came before it. Okay, here's the part that might just blow your mind. The 7th day, the age of divine rest, it might have never actually ended. This interpretation argues that we are living in it right now. Think about it. All of recorded human history has supposedly unfolded inside this ongoing 7th yom. So looking at yom this way doesn't just solve a timing puzzle. It offers a totally different way of thinking about time itself. It gives us this divine perspective, where a day is like 1,000 years. It suggests that maybe, just maybe, the Genesis story was never about how long creation took, but about the order and the purpose behind it all. And that leaves us with a pretty big question, doesn't it? If we are still living in the 7th day, this age of divine rest, what is our role supposed to be in it?